To talk more about the 618 Shopping Festival and its impact on Chinese consumers and its economy, I'm joined by Jacob Cook. He's co-founder and CEO of WPIC Marketing and Technologies, an e-commerce and technology consultant company. Thanks for coming to the program. Great having you. And first up, I'd like to better understand how significant the 618 Shopping Festival is as a measure of Chinese consumer confidence.
Well, it's certainly significant. It's basically the second most important shopping festival next to 11/11. And, just as a comparison for U.S. audience, Prime Day in 2024 ran about 14.2 billion US. 618 last year, we don't have the numbers yet for this year, but it was about 104. So a much more significant sales number. And again, number two. It's not run over one day. It's more of a festival. It runs since the end of May up until June 20th this year. It'll be finished by. But we're seeing significant growth over last year, and it definitely is a very important barometer on consumption on what is the world's largest e-commerce market.
And Jacob, well, you just said we don't have the numbers, we don't have the full picture yet, but were you able to see trends during this year's sales?
Yeah, definitely. We can actually measure for a long time in advance what consumption is going to look like for maybe the next 6 months up until 11/11. We're basically saying that this year, the important trend is look good, feel good. Beauty, wellness, outdoor equipment are all doing outstandingly well here. Some surprises, I think, which people are realizing too. Mother Baby, is doing pretty well this year too. Really notable actually, and also experiential based. We've seen travel do really well in China for a while, and we're seeing signs of that too. Luggage, outdoor, as I said, doing really well, and personal care as well. So I think the trend that we're going to be assigning to this year's 618 Shopping Festival again, it's look good, feel good.
And how are younger consumers in China shaping spending habits and driving demand?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've seen sort of peak spending around about 28 years old and skewing a little bit more towards the female side of things. This is good. For consumer sentiment, even if we go back to May, I mean, we're seeing about 6.4% retail sales growth overall, which includes online. And that's really been going up all the way back to December 2023. And to us, I mean, what we're seeing there is really willingness of households to spend. Despite what we're seeing is broader, macro uncertainty maybe. But again, we've seen sort of consistent growth since that point too. So, in terms of what WPIC is thinking, we're definitely, enthusiastic about the consumer in China.
And Jacob, in festivals like these, there's special shopping, special ticketing. Are foreign brands commanding a premium? How are these foreign brands competing with their Chinese counterparts?
Well, they have been, and I think you can divide that into two, really. I mean, there's brands, especially on the outdoor. I mean, we use the Lululemon example. Arc'teryx also incredible numbers from Q1 that are doing very, very well in China. What we would like, to really point out, though, is that there's a lot of local competition now, and we can use numerous examples and brands that really focus on the price points that are coming out here. But there is, Lululemon, I love that example because now I think 40%, 45% of their total global sales are coming from China, and they entered this market, a little bit later than their competition. Arc'teryx, I mean, reporting from January and Q1 this year, up 50% over last year. I mean, these are really, really good numbers, and these are not, brands that would be seen as economical in China, even outpricing a lot of their local competitors. So there's a ton of examples I think I could give you where foreign brands are doing very, very well. But there is, different consumption habits. I mean, the ultra high-end luxury is not seeing growth numbers like that. But, when you look at brands that are innovating, and really going after that experiential market. They're doing incredibly well in China right now.
We've also seen that the Chinese consumer is value-driven, and how are companies adjusting their strategies to reach these cautious and value-driven shoppers?
Well, some of them are making China-specific SKUs and have really, put a lot of their resources into the market here directly. Making products that are, at the price points that are really good for the market. And other ones, have really started to localize. They're focused on short form and live form video. That's doing really well. And really starting to understand the consumer. I mean, there is really good opportunities for foreign brands here, and I think that through mechanisms like cross-border e-commerce, a lot of them are doing really well.